again, everyone. This is Cash Beelan, and you're watching Casual Conversations. It's a video podcast, an audio podcast, and it's a program where we talk to people who are very important to our world. Our very special guest today is Macheis Wind. Amazing, interesting name, but he's also a humanitarian. He's a musician, a book author, program creator. He's so many things. You know, I wish I could describe all the cool things that he is. But hey, what's that? Hi, Macheis. How are you?
Mr. Casimir.
Oh my God, you gave away my real name. Oh, who told you that one?
I'm the only person that maybe calls you Casimir.
You probably are. It's an old Polish name, if you want to think about that. And welcome to Casual Conversations, Macheis. Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Boy, we go way back.
You know, I don't think we want to tell them how way back we go. You know, it's macheiswind.com is where you can find out all about Macheis. Also, you can go to guitartree.org. All right. So, Macheis, give us a very short thing about how you got into music and where you are now.
Yeah. I feel like I've been a musician my whole life. I mean, you know, it sounds like a story that's been told many times by so many people. But as soon as I saw a guitar when I was about 3 years old, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And so I started playing guitar at a pretty young age. And then I took a little bit of a detour. I mean, I was played in bands and those kind of things, but I took a little detour in my college years, and I really was drawn to healing. So I wanted to become a doctor for a while. I traveled to Africa, worked in a bush hospital in Kenya.
Wow.
Here, but I had my guitar, and in the evenings after I was taking care of patients and stuff, I would go out, sit on my little veranda in my little village, which was called Kaloleni in Kenya. It's a bush hospital, and play guitar. And a couple people came and were drawn to the music, and I saw how powerful the music was. Wherever I went, I could create music and inspire and excite people with music. And music is just this magical thing. So hundreds of people started coming. I was playing my guitar at night in Kenya, and when I got back to the States, I decided I was going to become a professional musician. So that's what I did. So I became a professional musician in my 20s, and then the story goes on from there.
So you're like about 30 right now?
Yeah.
So am I. You know.
As my mother used to say, I'm 39, but she was saying that for many decades.
I heard 39. I've heard 29. Hey, so a musician. Well, people here's an event which I think we got to tell people because it's coming up really soon. Unless you're watching this on replay, you know, a few years from now. So tell us about this amazing event you're doing. It's 30th anniversary of a family concert event.
Well, I as I said, I became a professional musician. I toured all over the country and also in Europe and stuff like that. I even played on a few records by famous people, though I wasn't a studio guy. My children were born, and everything changed. I started writing songs for them. One morning, like yesterday, we were sitting in the kitchen and we were having pancakes, and I came up with this song because my son and daughter went to swashbuckling pirates and things like that, and I made up a song about a pancake.
Oh boy, he kind of was flat and he spoke in a funny voice.
But he was also heroic and took the kids on an adventure into the forest, and it was called DOUGHEY the Pancake Man. And I did it kind of as a lark and for fun and only for them, but I started playing it for some of their friends when they come over, and it just grew and grew and grew. The next thing I know, I'm touring as a family, doing family concerts, you know, for children and playing schools, and it just so my career shifted towards working with children, and that was about 30 years ago. I released 2 albums that got a lot of attention. Of all the songs I wrote for my children, they were filled with love for them, and I thought they were pretty cool. And I wanted to celebrate the anniversary of the release of those albums and bring them back. So this coming Saturday, which would be the 17th.
Yes, that's what it says right there on the screen. Our crack staff put it together, 7 p.m.
17th at 1 p.m. Yeah, right in the middle of Califon. There's a beautiful lawn area by Bex Cafe, and we're going to be having, I think, pancakes are being prepared for children and families. So should be a fun event. But yeah, the DOUGHEY albums are re-released on all platforms, and it was really fun to listen to them. And and hear them again.
And Macheis, you know what the best part is? It says free admission right there. Free admission.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Donations are preferred, though. Like a donation for help.
We don't deal with money when we're talking about pancakes and doughy.
Syrup. Lots of syrup. Real gooey.
Pour it on.
So thank you. You're listening or watching Casual Conversations. We're talking to Macheis Wind. And as I say, it's macheiswind.com and guitartree.org you can go to find out more about Macheis. But what's amazing is we do a video and audio. So if you want to see how handsome Macheis and I look like and how great his guitar looks like, you can watch the video version. But if you don't care about that, keep driving, running, whatever you're doing, or listen to beautiful stuff and enjoy life. You know, we don't take preferences either way. Oh, I love. Play a little bit more.
This is just to relax you. Or we could rock it out. That's the beginning.
Yeah.
Boy, the kids would really just go crazy dancing to that rhythm.
Well, I think let's talk over. I will show some B-roll, beautiful B-roll footage, as I like to say, which is footage of Northland's concert, which you and I were involved with way back in the day, as they say. But what do you remember about that concert? I remember how close you were able to get to the kids, so they were actually part of your concert almost. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, after the Doughy albums took off, I mean, as I said, I started doing many shows, and I must have done, the other day I was thinking, how many shows? 100 sounded like an exact. I said, no, it wasn't 100. It might have even been more towards the thousands. But yeah, we had an opportunity to do this concert. Northlands is a pretty unique place, right? I mean, it's kind of it features, I guess it's biggest. What is it? The biggest train?
Yeah, indoor model railroads. Yeah, it's amazing. There's so many examples of it and everything. In fact, I did interview with the owners a couple years back, so we'll link up to that as well. But it's an amazing place. You got to go see it.
But they have a theater there, and we were invited to do a concert there. So a lot of schools that were following the work and the concerts came, and there was lots of kids there. And Kaz, you did a wonderful filming job of the concert, but it was really beautiful to just jump off the stage, get right down on the floor, and have be with the kids. And we had just a great time with them. It was just amazing. But as I said, it was just during a period where I was just doing many of these concerts, and I absolutely loved it. I just loved every concert was different. The way we would interact with the kids, and have the kids interact with the music and respond to the music. It would just be amazing.
Yeah, you can see the footage is a little bit different looking because this was way before high definition, believe it or not. I think in the 90s or so, 1990s, not 1890s, 1990s we recorded that. But it was a truly wonderful experience. And I'm sure those kids remember, even though they're on to college or married by now. But, you know, it's a beautiful thing to be part of always. And
many generations of Doughy the Pancake.
Many generations. So tell me about Guitar Tree a little bit. How did that come about?
Well, as I said, I was doing hundreds of concerts, and I still continued my writing of my more adult rock. I did a whole series of guitar instrumental albums, kind of similar to what I was just playing for you. They were improvisational guitar albums, which actually, when they used to have record stores, they were in record stores all over the world. Every Sam Goody, every Tower Records.
Crazy Eddie?
Crazy. Was that a record store?
Yes. Crazy.
I don't know. Maybe that was before my time.
No.
Remember the commercials?
Nothing's before your time. Mine.
But I started being, I guess, the music really, as I said, I wrote the songs with love, and kids were just definitely impacted by the music. So I started getting approached by the directors of social service organizations. One of them was a domestic violence safe house or homeless shelters. Said, can you come and visit our children? And I said yes, and I started visiting some of these places, and it grew and grew to a point where I felt like I was doing, really helping the children, helping the families in a lot of really complex traumatic settings, and I started doing it more and more and more, and that's what prompted me to found Guitar Tree, just a vehicle to bring this music, this empowerment, this healing work into as many settings as I could. So I started working with many organizations, I can't even count them, and bringing the work into those settings, and Guitar Tree was the vehicle to do it. So Guitar Tree, we still do that work, and Guitar Tree just is propelling along to this day, doing that work, and you can find more about that at any of the websites.
So, Macheis, what kind of impact do you remember, or you still remember, after you do one of your concerts, and what do you feedback do you get from either the kids or families or people in, what do you hear back from folks about it? What impact do you make on them?
Well, I don't know. There's always such a great feeling. I mean, it's always such a great feeling. If there's, I don't want to use kind of foofy types of words, but vibrationally or something. But it seems like there's such a radiance, such a vibration of joy and togetherness, and I think it just comes from the music itself. And it seems to stay with. I didn't write songs just to say, "Oh, I'm going to write kids songs," and then write them for a reason. Think, what are kids into, and write something like that. I wrote them directly from love, and I think that connects with people, and they feel that, and it stays with them. I went into a music store a couple of years ago, and the guy working in the music store was a older guy, and he goes, "Oh my God, you're Macheis Wind. You came to my school when I was in second grade," and he starts singing me all the songs. Now, how is that possible? How can you remember songs from second grade? Some guy comes into your school, but that's the impact. I mean, it's songs that I think connect with the heart. And I had a lot of educators coming up to me, even people that were musicians and educators. I go, "Oh, so how do you write songs about self-esteem?" I go, "Self-esteem? Well, your songs are about self-esteem." Well, no, I mean, I just wrote the songs out of love. But yeah, people thought it was coming from some intellectual place. How do you create these things? But no, they just came straight from the heart, and the heart is what connects us, and that's why generations of people remember these songs, and they've impacted.
Yeah, Macheis, one of the concerts recently, a couple of years ago, I got to see you, and one of the songs you did is Egbert, right? Egbert, is that the sensitive pig? Is that the one?
It's a popular one.
It wasn't about me, I know that, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was, old people, artists to kind of say, well, they kind of, like Seinfeld, use his friends to be the people on the show. So I don't know, but Egbert, set that up. I'm going to show a clip of that. So set that up. What's that about?
Egbert was just a very popular song off one of the albums. Well, it came from a true story, and this is a good example of where these songs come from. One day, the phone rang, and somebody asked our family if we could adopt a pig that needed a home. I said, "A pig?" Next thing I know, I'm driving in our Volvo station wagon home with a pig squealing in the back of the car. In the middle of winter, so it was too cold. Everyone said, "The pig can't stay outside," so the pig was in our kitchen. And his name was Egbert. And I learned, I didn't know anything about pigs, and we live on, I chose to have this outside today because it's such a beautiful day. Of course, there might be noises that could interrupt us, but we have a little farm here, and it's not like a working farm, but it was a good place for a pig to live. So I learned a lot about pigs. Egbert turned out to be a very, very sensitive animal. Sometimes people would come to the house, friends of the children and stuff, and they'd see a pig. They go, "Oh, pig! Oh, oh!" He wasn't like a little fluffy bunny rabbit or a little kitten. He was like a pig, and they go, "Oh, pig! Oh, oh, go away!" And if he wasn't getting pets like the kittens and like the bunny rabbits that we had, this is absolutely true. He'd make a sound like this. And I think he was actually crying. And I said, "He's so sensitive, Egbert." And I'd have to pet him and calm him down, and then he'd be okay. And I said, "Oh, what a thing! He has such a sensitive heart." So I wrote the song about Egbert called "Egbert the Sensitive Pig," and yeah, we have fun with it, and the kids sing along with it. "Oh, Egbert, oink oink oink," something like that, and it's very, very cute. I don't know how music translates in this setting. But yeah, it's a very popular song on one of the records. And adults love it too. It tells the story of Egbert and his sensitivity and his sensitive heart.
So let's take a look at a clip of that.
Oh, Egbert, oink, oink, oink. Oh, Egbert, oink, oink, oink. Oh, Egbert, oink, oink, oink. A big muddy pig with a sensitive heart. But if you could look inside him, you'd see a very tender heart, a very sweet and fragile heart. And if you could understand him, you'd know that all the grunts and oinks were Egbert reaching out for love. Egbert was really just like you and just like me. Beneath the mud you'd see he had lots of feelings. Get ready. Oh, Egbert, oink, oink, oink. Oh, Egbert, oink, oink, oink. Oh, Egbert, oink, oink, oink. A big muddy pig with a sensitive heart.
Oh, I love Egbert. Look at that. Every time I've seen that, which is either on recorded fashion on video or in person, I just get so much joy out of it. And I could see the people were like really enjoying it, except no matter what age, because a mixed group of people at this library event that we just showed you. But it was fun for everyone. Well, let's promote the great concert, which is free admission, and it's on the 17th of August,
They're making
2024.
too. I think they're making pancakes there, so I can smell them cooking already.
Better keep them warm, though. But 30th anniversary family concert, Doughy the Pancake Man. Now, Doughy, do people like keep asking you where do you keep Doughy? What's up with Doughy? Is he flat today? You're like, well, he's had a bad day.
Well, it's like I said, I think Doughy has a life of his own, because I never, when I wrote it, as I told you, it was very just out of fun. But it's like to this day, even though I'm not as actively doing concerts as I was, to this day, I have people coming up to me in supermarkets or on the street going, "Oh my God, it's Doughy the Pancake Man! Doughy the Pancake Man!" Doughy, continues to have a life. And the beautiful thing is that I did take Doughy and the songs into the settings I spoke to, the work of Guitar Tree. It was the songs have continued to have a life of giving life and giving healing, and I'm just so grateful that they came to me. Songs kind of come from the ethers, and you grab them with love and hope that you're accomplished enough to make them sound good. And the songs really have life. So I'm just so grateful to be able to do what I do. Upcoming down the road a piece, keep your eye out. We'll have to do another interview, because I did finally get around to writing the definitive Doughy the Pancake Man book. So it will become
Yay! Woo! Woo! Book.
and it's quite an adventure. It's quite an adventure. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat as I wrote it. So get ready for Doughy the Pancake Man, the book.
When is that coming out? Did you say that? I was so excited. I forgot if you gave a date.
Hopefully soon. The book has been completed. It's just a matter of putting. I want to start with an audio version, because that's really what I do. It will have music. It will have the music with it, and I'll be the narrator. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. It's just a matter of getting into the studio, finding the time, and
Yeah.
I'll let you know. Yeah, line us up on Casual Conversations. We gotta get the book out.
Yeah, tell the crack staff to get going. Get prepare the materials. Guitartree.org, MacheisWind.com. That's the place you can reach Macheis Wind anywhere you want, or have him come to a concert for your organization, help you out, or enjoy a fun event at schools. I mean, I don't think you said you don't do too many of those, but it's nice. You're based on the East Coast, right? So you can drive there or fly there if you have to, I guess. And you mentioned a few of the things that you're involved with, but on the which one is your favorite? The entertainment part, the healing? What is your favorite? Do you have a favorite, or you kind of go from one to the other? Or you mix everything up.
It's such a different. Well, of course they're very mixed up. I don't think there's any favorite. I've been just so fortunate to be able to do what I think I was put on this earth to do. It was interesting. Maybe I'm echoing what I just heard recently. I was watching the Olympics briefly, and one of the athletes said, "You know, I trust that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing." It was something like that. But I said, "Yeah, that's exactly the way I feel." Started out being drawn to music. I spent a lot of time becoming accomplished at music. But I was drawn to healing. I knew that I had abilities that could help people with healing. That's why I felt like I was going to be a doctor for a while. But then I decided that music was it, so I did music exclusively. But then my children were born, and they drew me back into the healing work of music and the power of music and how it can help children and families. And so, to answer your question, it's everything. I mean, I don't have any faith. It's all one with me. Everything is all one.
Mhm.
For a while there, I separated them a little bit. I said, "Oh, well, I'm a serious kind of writer, and I'm writing this cool stuff, and the children's stuff is different." But no, it's all one thing. All of my writing, all of my playing, all of that virtuistic stuff that they wanted on those records, and the talks that we did at the library, they're similar to the library, the conferences of the universities, and the family concerts, and the safe houses for the children, and the homeless shelters, and the orphanages, and the hospitals. It's one big work, and I'm just so grateful to be able to do it.
No, it's interesting because I've kind of been going on a similar path. I mean, I do commercials, podcasts, produce videos, produce your concert video and stuff like that. But I tend to flow to different areas because whatever interests me, some of it is just an assignment you do. But I never do it like I just do an assignment and I'm going to disappear. I try to learn from it.
Right.
I try to, be part of that business or that organization. And sometimes that's how you learn, discover, but also they discover stuff about them they didn't know. Because if you're doing the same thing every day, you caught up in your little world and you ask them, how's this? How you ever thought about this? And they're like, oh, we never thought about that. Like, they're like, wow. Or they see the finished video segment. They're like, wow, we really are good. We know what we're doing. I says, well, because you never see yourself that way. You're too busy making your business go and go and go. So, I mean,
It,
what do you think?
I know that you were involved in those balloon races for a while there. I
Yeah,
think we
balloon, New
both
Jersey Festival ballooning. Yeah.
But I just remember that I performed many years there. But I remember one year I was watching. It was a major band, but it was a major
Hmm.
band, and they were really really good and stuff. But they said we're on tour on our 200th tour, a 200th concert this year, and it was cool. But I said to myself, I am just so grateful to be able to do the work that I'm doing. What if I had a hit record back in the day, and I was touring behind that hit record,
Yeah.
into my later years. Okay, that's cool, but I'm so fortunate to be able to do this complex healing work, and the music and in the settings that I do it, rather than just be a touring musician. I don't mean just be. I mean that would be a great thing for many people. But for me, like you say, it's all of these things that have interested me and drew me into this world. And to me, it's a world that I'm in every day.
Well, you know what they say. It's like people go, I want to have a career, I want to make money. But there's people who making tons of money and are miserable because it's not what they wanted, not what they thought it was,
Right.
whatever. They turn to bad things. There's tons of stories and movies about them. So, it's sometimes it's difficult to love what you're doing because of whatever situation or someone's pressure on you, or we have to do a concert tonight. They call you the day before, like I'm sure that never happened, right? And and so, or they change the whole plan while you get there because that's not what they thought it was, or so you have to be able to deal with that. I mean, have you dealt with that? Have you had people you had to help because kind of guide them through at the final moment to make everybody's the situation better?
Oh, sure. I'm not. I think sometimes the work is difficult. I mean,
Hmm.
sometimes challenging. I mean, it's very, very difficult to be in settings where there's great pain.
Hmm.
As I said, emotional pain, trauma, uh, and so those situations can be very complex and difficult. However, there's always a feeling of connection to. I mean, I'm not saying I go in, I'm healing. I feel like we're kind of healing together. I think the world needs healing, and when I'm in these settings, I'm just, more of a vehicle for us all to move towards healing, even if it's very difficult or people are in pain. So yeah, I mean, we're presented with challenges in life, and and bring them on.
Our time is coming to an end here, believe it or not. It's been about a half hour, and I've enjoyed talking to you and learning about the guitar tree, or relearning from you about everything, and your wonderful playing and everything. And it's Macheis Wind, macheiswind.com, and also guitartree.org, where you can contact them and everything. And so I have to ask you the toughest question I ask everyone in the 50 plus episodes we've asked, and see if you can win the prize down for the best.
What's coming?
Macheis, what was it like being a guest here on Casual Conversations?
Wow! It's been great. It's always Kaz. It's always been great to chat with you. When we've known each other for a number of years. Sometimes we have periods where we don't touch base for a while, but when we talk on the phone, I think we both laugh most of the time.
Yeah.
So we have a good time. You're a great interviewer. I love your work, and so it's like rolling off a log. So anytime you want me on Casual Conversations, I'll be there.
Oh, thank you, Juice. Why don't you play us out of the show here? Play a little tune, and we'll go back to Ludo.
Well, maybe just because we're having this Doughey concert coming up, I'll just
Yeah.
it up. Once again, I don't know how it works with these with this technology. Try singing, but here we go, Doughey.
Doughey was a pancake. He grew up in a pan. And when they tried to lift him out, he began to dance around. Doughey, 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 the pancake man.
And then the story goes on, and have a great one.
Thank you. Bye. See you soon.